Hello, I've just been informed that if you wish to look fly like Ella and myself, then you should click your way to creative.com. On this website is remarkable designs, t-shirts, jackets, hats, hoodies, sweatpants, and more to come. We also have courses if you're looking to advance in your musical endeavors. Once you visit our website, it's pretty awesome. But once you make a buy, it's remarkable. It supports the channel and me. Please don't tell Elif I said that, but he has not paid me yet. So buy away. Let's continue this journey in creating a movement of creatives around the world that can create with their inner creative juices. Musicians, music producers, beat makers, singers, club promoters, whomever you are in this industry, join me while we expand. As Elip always says, stay creative without rules, but I have another saying. May the creative forces be with you. I made it up myself. Some people may think I'm Elip, but I'm really not Elip. He doesn't look anything like me. This commercial is now over. Back to the video.
What's up, folks? What's up, folks? Just still trying to get everything rolling, but we are live right now. We are streaming in 3 different places. We were streaming early, and I thought I was live everywhere, but my YouTube was not yet on live yet. So we had to roll the intro and all that good junk over again. But anyway, we got a special guest here from PreSonus. My good friend from PreSonus, he's going to answer a bunch of you guys' questions, but I want to make sure that everybody is in here again. All of my Facebook folks, all of my YouTube folks. What's up, Grimy Needle? What's up? What's up, Carlos? What's going on? Reese, what's up? What's up? I hope I said your name right. What's going on? What's good, everybody? What's going on? So everything you guys have question wise in regards to Studio 1.5, the new platform, which is the PreSonus Sphere, or the new product, the product that works with Studio One, which is the Atom SQ. Absolutely. There's it was like a soft launch. They didn't really mention it in the the grand launch video, but some of you guys have already noticed that there was another piece to the puzzle, and you guys been asking me about it, and we're gonna, put light on all of it in this live stream, right? So I'm just gonna give it a moment, give you guys a chance to log on in. Nuno, what's up? Dan May, what's going on? What's up, everybody? What is good? How you guys feeling? Let me know in the comments. Give me thumbs up in the comments if you can hear me. Let me know if the audio is coming through. Let me know if you guys can see me well. All that good stuff. I am streaming I'm streaming to 3 different platforms, and I just want to make sure that there's no lag, or you guys can hear the audio all right, things like that. Typical stuff. Appreciate the thumbs up, E Junior. As always, I appreciate you guys for giving thumbs up on the video. Thumbs up on the video. Pound the thumbs up. If you are not subscribed to the channel, please do so. And like I said earlier to my Facebook people, I am a YouTuber, so most of what I do is on YouTube. So you guys, this is probably like my first video in like a couple of months, you know what I mean? But I do know I have a lot of Facebook friends that are Studio One users, and I wanted to give a chance for you guys that don't know anything about what I do on YouTube, and give you guys a chance to join me, and I'm reading the comments from all over the place, so you guys bear with me. Push button, what's up? Studio 5, I'm all in, no subscription though. Yeah, we're gonna clear that all up. Yeah, it's really confusing, because when they announced Sphere, everyone's thinking that everything went subscription, and that's not the case. That's just an option, which means that everyone has access to Studio One 5 now for $15 a month. You don't even have to buy Studio One 5, or you don't have to upgrade if you so choose not to, right? But Sphere is it comes with Studio One 5, it comes with the collaboration, it comes with the support team, and it comes with a cloud where you can save your projects up there in the cloud. You can collaborate with other people, other Studio One people, and go back and forth. It's like a nice, cool setup they got going on. But better than all that, I have one of the project managers from PreSonus that's going to be joining us in a few seconds. So, going to be answering all those questions. Alan Jordan, what's up? What's up? Marquis, no subscriptions here either. Seems like everybody likes the Sphere idea. Great Keys, what's up? What's up? What's up with everybody? Yeah, so the subscription is it's for those, I think it's great. It's for those who don't have the money to buy Studio One. Now, if you like me, I own Studio One 5, it's mine, right? I bought the upgrade. Actually, I was a part of the beta team, so I really didn't buy it, but it's the whole point behind it. I have it on my system. I don't have to have Sphere, you know what I mean? But if I want Sphere, which is what I have, because I will be doing videos to cover it, how all that works, that's also another option. And there's some of you guys that based on what you guys learned as far as the updates, what Studio One 5 has to offer, some of you guys don't really feel like the upgrade is worth upgrading to. And so some of you guys, I've heard from some of y'all upgraded to, well, not upgrade, but started the Sphere account where you pay $15 a month for it and have Studio One 5 that comes with it, and take advantage of all of the other cool things that's involved in the whole plan. You know what I'm saying? Reggie Cole, what's up, man? Michael Jordan, Ken Stavis, Leona Rice. What's going on with everybody? What's going on? All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and bring on the good sir. I'm gonna bring on the good sir. Studio One 5 upgrade. Yeah, so Studio One 5, the upgrade is 150. The Sphere is about 170 per year if that's what you choose to do, or you could pay monthly, $15 monthly or whatever. But you're getting so much more. There's like it's other things involved, right? It's not just Studio One 5. It's like a whole, it's like a community on steroids. That's what you'll be paying for as far as the subscription. But you don't have to do that. You can do things like you've been doing before. Just pay for the upgrade, and you're good to go. Marcus Huskins, what's up, man? And Antwar, what's good? What's good with everybody? All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and bring my guy on. I got to give him a call. All right. All right, give me a second. You can still hear me, right, Oscar?
Yeah.
All right, cool. All right, so I'm gonna bring on my good friend from PreSonus. His name is Oscar Garza, and he's gonna answer all of y'all questions that you may have. Yeah, push button is on right now, as a matter of fact. All right, everybody. Oscar is here from PreSonus, live from PreSonus. So
Hey,
fire away your questions. I'll be the mediator. Just so you know, Oscar, I'm pulling questions from YouTube and Facebook. So it's like several places at once. So
yeah, sure.
yeah.
No problem.
So Oscar, if you don't mind, introducing yourself, like what is your role at PreSonus, and
Yeah, sure. Hey, what's up? Push button is in. So for those of you that don't know, yeah, I know you, Grammy Needle. We good now. Yeah. So my name's Oscar Garza, right? So, but my friends just call me OG since those are my initials. So that's why you see push button calling me OG over there. But for me, I'm a product manager at PreSonus, and so basically it's my job to go through and make certain products and take them from concept and essentially bring them life, across from the very beginnings all the way out to where you all are able to get it, use it, be creative with it, and make music, all the way till the end of it. Of course, I mean many years go by with the product, and eventually we move on to the next thing. So my product specifically, when I first joined PreSonus, I've been there 3 years. So I started off doing some of the audio interfaces. I inherited the new fader ports, whenever we were getting to release those. So I did the single channel, 8 channel, 16 channel. And then this thing called Atom came around. And initially it was just supposed to be kind of a small project, but I mean, my background from other companies, I mean, I've worked at Akai, I've worked at Nectar, used to work at M Audio. So I know a lot of stuff about these type of workflows, and I presented my case to the powers that be that hell, we make software, we make hardware. Why don't we make something, that's getting to be integrated and really showing what we can do and be creative with. And so that's kind of how Atom was born. Just a baby step, of course. That was our first step into that. And, that eventually is growing and evolving. And, we have all sorts of plans for that line. And that's kind of come up with the new Atom SQ, which everybody's been talking about. I think, like you said earlier, everybody kind of expected it to be on the live stream a few days ago, but technically that day was kind of our soft launch day. So retailers have it up for pre-order on websites, and Push Button says I'm his Santa. And we're going to do like a more formal marketing push, a true marketing push, just to basically let all the information out at the end of the month. So that's when you'll see videos, you'll see artists using it, and it'll be available by the end of the month. So we wanted to make sure that we made the right splash and didn't have to do it twice, essentially. So I'm Atom, and Atom SQ is kind of my child. I mean, it's always a group effort. There's some really talented people in Baton Rouge, also in Hamburg, Germany. They're the folks that do development of Studio One. Particularly with SQ and Atom. I also worked with great folks at Ableton Live, Ableton as well too, with the live integration. So a lot of moving parts and a lot of things to put together. But I think in the end, the whole goal is just to make creative products for people.
Cool, that's what's up. Now, when you guys announced the Atom, I must admit I wasn't really a fan of it, but
I saw your video.
And then of course Push Button connect me and you together, and then that's when I discovered that you were the godfather behind the brains behind it. And when you showed me like some things I didn't know, I was like, oh, okay, this is very functional, and then I started using it. So right. I have a major machine background, so working with those things is like a beast in my world. And so when the Atom came out, I was like, it just looked like a toy, as a lot of my subscribers agree with that. And
well, I think a lot of it too is that when we came out, it was kind of similar to this SQ launch where, there was some information that came out. There wasn't a lot of information at first.
Right.
And then, so there's a lot of speculation. Everybody's like, oh, this is going to be the high expectations. Like, this is a machine killer. This is a MPC killer,
Right.
So, we could have definitely done that a little bit better. But for us, this is that first step into that market. And it's, it's baby steps. We wanted to make sure that people wanted this first and foremost. And it's been doing really, really well since. So that's given us the green light to keep on moving forward. And I think you said in previous videos, and I always say this, it's like Machina is Machina, MPC is Machina. They're great tools. They're amazing tools. Never in a million years am I trying to make a product to replace those things. They're tools that you have in your toolbox. And so Atom and Atom SQ are just other tools, right? So it's all part of your production, and the more tools that you can have, the better. I understand that, some folks, you're on a budget and it can only get maybe one or two things. I used to be there as well too. So it's just about finding that balance of tools that are going to serve your purpose and help you to be creative.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, the Atom turned out to be a very awesome controller based on what it does. It actually controls Studio One. It does more than just being a MIDI controller. It actually controls, like, you can like zoom in, zoom out, and right. nudge between tracks. And it's very functional.
Totally, and I think that's thank you, Nuno, for your thanks there. I think that's the thing that maybe initially the messaging on this was a little bit off, because I think a lot of people were saying, well, this is a controller for impact, right? This is a
right.
direct controller for impact, but that isn't really what's going on in my mind. What's going on in my mind with that and the SQ is that these are production controllers. This is a Studio One controller. The brains of these things are actually Studio One. And that gives you so much more power than just pigeonholing it into, a singular plug-in. It's not meant to be an external sound module that you pump in. It's meant to be your full, complete production environment with Studio One.
Awesome. Awesome. I mean, I think it's a decent tool. Yeah. So someone I don't know if you can answer this, but I saw a question fly by. It said something about if personas could go the route of like image line and what they're doing over there with Fruity Loops, where you pay one price and it just whatever, all of the updates come is free. It's like you just pay for the life of the license.
Sure, sure. I mean, you know, I I can't directly, talk about, what things that we're looking at or whatever. I can tell you just overall, like philosophy wise. Obviously, with Studio One Five and Sphere in particular, we're just getting into this whole subscription thing, right?
Uh-huh.
So we're just like anybody else. We're kind of figuring things out, seeing what works, seeing what doesn't work, and if there are enough people that say, hey, you guys should be doing this, and it makes sense, not just from a customer perspective, but from a business perspective, because we still got to be able to make those great tools that everybody uses, then it's something we'll take a look at. And so we're, like I said, I can't speak directly to that, but we're always looking at what the options are and what we can do to be competitive.
Absolutely. Appreciate the super chat, Julian Wright. I really appreciate that. All right. Cool, cool, cool. Well, there is a brewing question that I've been getting on my channel. A lot of people that's wondering if it was really worth it upgrading to 5. A lot of people was expecting a wow factor, and based on I guess what's floating out here now, there's really not a wow factor. Some people are saying, well, I'll just wait until 5.5 comes out, because it seems that the point updates are more, the updates are substantial than the actual 5 is. Could you speak to that? Maybe there's some things under the hood that don't realize what's going on, which may
Yeah.
talk to their
Sure. No, no,
yeah.
I totally understand. I totally understand where everybody's coming from. I think, at the end of the day, Studio One is to an individual different things, right?
Hmm.
And I think our goal overall with Studio One, I know our goal overall with Studio One is to be that complete modern music production package, right? And so there'll always be this kind of push and shove of I started the company when 3 was out, and then 4 came out about a year after I came out. So of course 4 really pumped up the MIDI side, the production side of things, right? 3, what was it, like 3.5 or something like that, really pumped up all the audio side. So there'll always be this up and down of features, but the end goal is always to bring as many tools as possible that reaches as many people as possible. So I think, within the production community, maybe there's things that you find in that kind of resonate with you, maybe there's not, but you still got to look at the overall package and what's there. So for some people, notation is a big thing. I'm a musician, I know you're a musician. As far as like traditional instruments, I play saxophone, so for me, it kind of changes my composition mentality when I'm looking at notation, notes versus piano roll, or pattern editor. So for somebody like me, that might be something that grabs me, and it's like, oh, yeah, that's it, that's what I want, and I'll upgrade. For other people that are doing heavy into mixing, the mixing scenes is a really big thing as well too. So definitely understand that everybody looks at it from different angles and what they need. But I think overall, what we're trying to do is boost up the platform as much as we can and balance out the platform as much as we can. So I know there'll be things in the future that'll completely knock your heads off, and everybody will be cheering for it. Those things just take time, and we got to balance out that with bug fixing and all sorts of other stuff as well too.
Awesome. Awesome. So, I have a question. Actually, about
I
this
don't like
question.
that smile. I don't like that smile.
I have a question, and about this question because I spoke with you a couple times on this, and I even tried to share videos concerning the issue I have, and I see that question pop up again in the chat.
I saw it.
There's a lot of people who's been dealing with the MIDI issue, and we all kind of feel like the MIDI is not as I guess developed, so to speak. It like for instance, um when you recording chords or programming a beat pattern or whatnot in Logic or in Machine, that is, or even Ableton Live, because I have that in the background as well. It seems to capture the MIDI information accurately versus Studio One, and I want to say that I think Studio One actually responds to the type of computer you have. Like I just recently upgraded my computer and the MIDI got a little better for me, but I remember just late last year it wasn't that great. And I haven't really spoke on it that much, but every time I go live or I do a video and people ask me, "Hey, did PreSonus fix the MIDI issue?" So I know that it's still out there. So I don't know if maybe the folks that's over that part that PreSonus is aware of that. I don't know if you could speak to that, if you
Yeah,
ever.
sure.
Yeah,
No.
yeah.
We were having conversations about this the other day, actually, me and a good friend of mine. And I mean, I've seen the videos that are out on YouTube showing some of these MIDI problems, and the developers have seen them as well too.
Okay.
The thing though is that it doesn't happen on everybody's computer,
Mm.
and I can't get it to happen on my computer. I've given it to the developers, and they can't reproduce some of those things either. So it's hard to fix something that we can't see right now, you know. So we know that there are some of these issues out there, but we have to be able to reproduce them in-house first before we can actually figure out what the hell's going on and try to solve it, you know. So I don't think all hope is lost for those things. We are looking at it. We understand that there are some folks that are having these issues, but we have to be able to reproduce it. So as soon as we can find, I thought we had a lead actually a few weeks back. I was like, oh shit, somebody has these steps that I might be able to reproduce it, and I still am not able to do it on my computer. But I'm still looking. I'm still trying to find it. And once we do find what the root of those issues are, then of course we'll absolutely go through and address it.
Okay. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Some people it happens to them, and some people it don't. I know for me, it just feel like it's not really forgiving, so to speak. Like, I know that like if I am programming something, and if I'm in the input quantize mode, depending on the resolution that I have, if like if I'm pressing the beat down on one, it may, so let's say for instance if it's like 1/16 or something like that, it may go to the next 16th and not necessarily one. Like it will do that sometimes. But in Machine, it's like Machine is a little bit more smarter. But I get what you're saying though, because if the developers is not, that they don't see that, it's not happening for them, they won't know. But I think for me personally, I noticed that when I start getting into like real heavy production, and my tracks is way well over 10 tracks. I'm into like the 60s, 70s, even hundreds sometimes. And like
Sure.
I know at one point, when I started addressing this on YouTube, I'll go live and do like live production on live, and some people will say, well, decrease your block size. And I'm like, yeah, the thing with that is, if I say like I go to 128 for my block size, it's okay when you first start out, but when you start building instruments, you need that computer power
Yeah,
to help,
that's
right,
right.
produce
Yeah.
you know the memory it needs to allow the instruments to run or whatever. So then at that point, I had to increase my buffer or my block size, and then that's when we run into issues. And then like all of us,
Yep.
we'll go the route of bouncing down the audio just to go
Sure.
easy on the CPU. But
Right. Yeah, that's that constant balance and struggle between buffer size and CPU power, especially. I mean, every plugin is different, and some of them are CPU hogs, some of them aren't. So it's kind of hard to balance all that stuff. But yeah, I don't you know I don't want people to think that their voices aren't being heard. I know people have been talking about it for a long time. And like I said, I usually will go through and just kind of look at YouTube videos and see what issues people are having, and I definitely raise them straight to our developers, and we can find them, we can fix them, and hopefully we'll be able to find some of these things in the near future.
Okay. Cool. Well, I have a question that I've been asking for a while. It's about is there any plans for mobile production, being able to make beats on, say, like my iPad or my iPhone, like I can in GarageBand or Beatmaker, or even Cubase has really solid a really solid DAW. It's like a full-fledged DAW on your mobile phone. I was really impressed. I know that there is a remote on your iPad that you and it works really well. I use it all the time, but I was just wondering if there was like any plans for beat making per se with PreSonus.
Right. I mean, nothing that I can talk about right now,
Okay.
but we have been, looking into that, seeing what the possibilities are, seeing what people want, all that good stuff. So once again, it's not like we're not looking at it, So we're thinking about it, and it's all about juggling resources as well too. I think sometimes people tend to think that PreSonus is this gigantic, huge company with tons of people working for it, but we're a relatively medium to small size company. So the people that are developing Studio One, I mean, they're nonstop working day and night, on that type of development. So any other things that we work towards, of course, take up more resources. So it's just balancing all those things out. I think, you can't deny that iPad, iOS, the mobile platforms are a big part of production now.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, we can't just not look at it. So we are looking at it, but nothing to announce as of right now.
I think that's actually remarkable. Appreciate that push button for the super chat, man. Yeah, I appreciate that. I think that's remarkable that you guys are a fairly small company and you guys are working at this magnitude. I remember when I first discovered Studio One, and it's when you joined. You mentioned that you got on board around 3.0, and that's exactly when I decided to make the switch from Logic on to 3. I had the artist version of 2.0 or 2.5 or whatever, and
Okay.
I knew of PreSonus, the Studio One. I knew of it, and when I opened it up, I wasn't quite ready to do it because it was kind of foreign to me at that time. But a lot of people were speaking very highly of it, but I was able to join the live stream when they went live and introducing the new features, and I was like, oh, okay, this is amazing. And then when I started my thing or whatever, and I was just impressed that you guys at that size doing what you guys doing, fresh DAWs, quick, fast, the stuff that we are able to do now in it versus what I was doing in Logic. Now, like a lot of things that I'm able to do, that it frustrated me in Logic. I switched over. But anyway, so going back to go ahead.
Yeah, just, like I said, it's. I think people underestimate, the size, and we put in a lot of hours, but that's because we care, and we do as much as we can. If you look at all the stuff we do across live sound, recording, software, it's crazy, But we have just the amount of crazy in all of our people that we can pull it off at a high level as well too. So.
Awesome.
Brian was talking about questions, man. He wants those questions.
Yeah, I see. I see. So let's look at some of the questions. Let's see. See, I'm terrible at reading the questions. Well, there were some questions that were asked that I'd okay, I'm not gonna read that one. I'm gonna check my Facebook because I have a tendency of like focusing on YouTube and forget that people over here on Facebook is asking questions. What's up, Jerome? What's up, Jarrell Crockett? I agree with Studio One doesn't capture MIDI as accurate. I have to go back and correct. Yeah. Oh, there was a question earlier about MIDI capture. I know that Studio One can do audio capture, But what
Right.
about MIDI capture?
Actually, and I'm not trying to dodge the MIDI capture question, but I didn't even realize it did audio capture until recently. Somebody was like, "Hey, did you know Cubase did this and it captures audio beforehand?" And I was like, "Really?" And I tried it out, and I was like, "Wow, that's kind of cool." And then I was like, "I wonder if Studio One has it." I looked, and sure enough, Studio One has that same thing as well too. But regarding the MIDI stuff, yeah, I know I've used it in Ableton. I've used it in Logic. I mean, I use more than just Studio One. As a product manager, I have to be fluent in all these other DAWs as well too. So it's a great feature. I do love it, and like I said, I have nothing officially to speak about, but I'd love if they add that as well too. They being the developers. So, keep them. I think we have our questions and answers page on the website, and you can vote up feature requests and stuff like that. And the developers do look at that. So, please make sure you put it in there. And that also gives people like me, stuff to go back and say, hey, look, this is what people are asking for. Let's go through and do it. So, yeah, well, it's something we know about, and it'd be cool to add, but I can't talk about anything in the future as of right now.
Got you. I got a question from Facebook. Jarrell Crockett says, ever thought about using picture icons like drum bass synth, kind of like what Logic do or Cubase?
We have incorporated stuff like that in like our universal control surface. So as far as the mixer stuff, you can add little icons in there as well too. So I don't know if they'll ever get to it within Studio One, but there is precedence as far as us having it in a universal control surface. So I wouldn't rule it out. It's a possibility. It's cool to have. It's easy to list, glance at the tracks and see what's what basically.
Yeah, I can attest to that. I have the UC to Surface to control, and I was able to put icons on my mic and the computer and stuff like that. It's really cool. But yeah, cool. Okay, here's one.
Yeah.
Will Notion include tablature for guitar and bass guitar someday?
I'm pretty weak on my Notion chops right now. I don't know, but I can ask. I can ask the folks to do Notion stuff and see if there's anything I can talk about at a later time. I'll pass that along to you so that you can kind of catch up with folks on the back end of it. So answer right now is I don't personally know, but that doesn't mean I can't get some answers.
Okay. All right. Well, here's a question from YouTube. V Pierre Music. Thanks for joining, by the way. He says, "What does Studio One 5 bring other than Sphere and Show mode?"
Sure. So it's show page. It's music notation. It's mix scenes. Of course, we went through and updated the look of the interface and all the plugins as well too. I mean, there's a lot of little things that add up, but I would say the main things are the mixing workflows, notation, and of course like the show pages we're talking about. And those are all kind of the beginnings of some of those as well too. I know we have grander plans for a lot of those functionalities as things grow. So it's just baby steps, getting things in, what we have time for, and then and keep working on it.
Okay, that's what's up. There was a couple of questions talking about Sphere. It's still one of those confusing situations. And I explained a little earlier that Sphere is just another option. Like the way I look at it is that with Sphere, it actually gives people who wanted to own Studio One and just didn't have the budget. It gives them the option to have Studio One 5 now, and plus the other collaborating and other things that's going on with Sphere. But that doesn't mean that you guys that are using Studio One, it doesn't mean that everything moved to a subscription model. It's one of those options where you can still own Studio One 5 right out like usual. But if you want Sphere, you can also have that in addition to and have that added benefits. But if you are someone who just don't have the budget at all, you can still get Studio One 5, but under the Sphere subscription. I don't know if you can go a little further in and help explain that.
Yeah. And I think people, at least from the comments that I've read prior, automatically think, Sphere subscription and then just like Studio One 5 and like that the association is that it's only Studio One 5.
Right.
But there's actually a lot of other stuff in there, even aside from the collaboration stuff, which is really cool. You get every single plugin that we make, that's in there. You get tons, gigabytes and gigabytes of loop packs, kits, all the add-ons that were previously, you had to buy, are all included in the subscription as well too. So you're actually getting a hell of a lot, even way more than just Studio One out of the subscription pack. And then if you throw in the collaboration stuff, which is actually it's pretty amazing. The ability to go through and export your stems directly into this environment. You can collaborate with other people, share it's like a real-time chat basically. So you can say, hey, check it out. Listen to this stem really quick. Drop the stem in the chat. They can go open it up in Studio One. Bam, check. Listen to it. They could even play it. There's a live player within the chat as well too that allows you to preview and listen to. Maybe you're working on a song together and you just want to listen to a quick demo track or whatever. You can listen to it within the browser, within the collapse area. So there actually is a lot in there in PreSonus Sphere, and I think it's easy to go through and once again just completely associate it with only Studio One, but there's way more there, and maybe we could have messaged that a little bit better. But I think once people actually get into it and start checking it out, then they'll understand and spread the word. That being said, regular Studio One is not going away. It was funny because I was watching that live stream, and everybody started, not everybody, but a lot of people started hating. As soon as we started talking subscription, and I saw all the PreSonus people, like the people that work for PreSonus, there in the live stream. It's like, no, you still have the option. You still have the option. You still have the option. And trust me, we knew that this was going to kind of be the case as far as different people have different feelings about subscription, particularly because other companies have done it, maybe not have handled it as well. So we've tried to anticipate as much of that as we could. But it's there. I think it's a really great product. It's a great add-on, as well too. So definitely give it a chance. Check it out. But if you just want to get Studio One 5, by all means, get the upgrade, get standalone or whatever.
Cool. That's great news, folks. He said that it's not subscription like this.
Right.
We didn't fall apart. Everything is still intact. It's just more options for people to get involved in what's going on. I think the fear was that we all know what happened with Adobe. A lot of us had a copy of Photoshop or Illustrator or whatnot, and then one day they just said, to hell with it. We're dropping everything. Everything is subscription. If you want to continue working on projects, and then it just kind of left everybody out of the cold because Adobe products is pretty expensive. And then when they go to the subscription, and it's like after a year you paid for Photoshop or Illustrator, and I guess people fear that was the same thing. Like, oh man, we can't work on music unless we pay them monthly. But so I appreciate you for clearing that up.
Yeah, no, our intention is to keep that. It's called a perpetual license.
Gotcha.
So our intention is to keep that. So if you're coming from, if you already have Studio One Pro 4, to cross over to 5, I think it's $150.
Mm-hmm.
If you're coming from Artist to Pro, then it's $299, and then if you're coming brand new, then it's $399.
Right. Yeah. Normal stuff. That has been what it's been forever. Since I've known.
Yeah, exactly. And then we're also getting, Studio One Artist 5. It's actually a big change for us because with Artist 5, there used to be no VSTs, no audio units, no rewire unless you bought an add-on from us. Now with version 5, that's gone. So you can do so much in Studio One Artist 5. More so than you've ever been able to do with the prior versions, because we've gotten rid of that requirement of having to buy the add-ons. So that unto itself is huge. So that means that you can go and buy. Maybe you are looking for an audio interface, or you're looking for an Atom SQ or something. That could be your entrance into Studio One. with Studio One artists, and you're going to be able to do probably 90 to 95% of your work with Studio One artists. Of course, if you want show page, you want to master your stuff and all the great things that come with Pro, then you upgrade to Pro. But I think for a lot of people, Studio One artists it meets a lot of people's needs.
Okay. All right. So here's a question from Rodney Rico. This is a good one actually, because I think I mentioned something about this. But the question is, any new instruments ever coming?
Sure, ever.
Yeah.
if you're talking about ever, sure. We're looking at stuff, right? Nothing to announce today, but I think the instruments that have been in Studio One, some of them have been there for a minute. So we're looking at all those options, and whether it means adding new ones or revamping the current ones, those are all those options are on the table.
Okay. All right. I'm just juggling around. I'm not going in order as far as the questions. So you guys, if you see somebody question being answered or asked, forgive me. I'm just kind of just going up and down, mixing them up or whatever. Because there are some questions or some things that are said that yeah, kind of don't want to.
I do see one. So availability for Atom SQ. You should see it in stores the end of the month, the very latest, the first week of August. So either the very end of the month or the beginning of August is when you'll see it. You can actually pre-order it now if you go to certain websites.
Okay.
What are the ARP features on the SQ? I'm looking at grimy stuff really quick. So the ARP is kind of your standard ARP that you have on most other keyboards. So you have on, off, hold. You have swing on there. You can change play modes. You can change octaves. All the standard stuff. We don't have a strum to strip at the moment. The ARP itself is actually built into the firmware. That means you can use the ARP in any application, not just VO1 or Live. You can use it in FL or Reason or whatever.
All right. Got a question from Facebook by Vernon. He says, does a Sphere have different plans since I have Notion and S15 already? Will there be any plans for just the thing we don't have? I don't know if that makes sense.
I guess he already has those two things. So I guess he's saying, is there like a discount or an option to get all the remainder things maybe? That's we don't have that option currently. I don't know what the plans are future-wise for that. If you already own a perpetual license, if that gets you anything else within Sphere subscription.
Okay.
Yeah, and one thing, as we're talking about the music collaboration stuff on Sphere, you don't necessarily have to be a Sphere subscriber to collaborate with a friend that is a Sphere subscriber. So let's say, I'm on Sphere and I've created a workspace to collab.
Mm-hmm.
I can actually invite an external person. As long as you have a regular PreSonus account, you can still get into that workspace and you can work together from there, as long as the main person has the Sphere account.
Okay. So, let's stay right there for a second because I have a question. So, so say I have Sphere and the artist that I'm working with doesn't, but they have Studio 1.5, they have an account or whatnot. So I'll do a track and upload it to the cloud, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And they can pull it down from the cloud, or do I give them a link from the cloud?
You got to think of it this way. It's like, what's the best way to put it? It's kind of like you're making a Skype group chat or something like that, right? So you're in Sphere, you create a workspace, and that workspace, maybe it's the song, like, the whatever song you're collabing on, and then you have an invite button on there. So when you hit invite, there are certain requirements that you can set to it as well too, but you can invite external people, and they'll actually go in, as long as they have a PreSonus account, can actually be in that space and be able to share stems and all that stuff directly from there as well too.
Okay. So in terms of collaborating, it's definitely exclusive to PreSonus. Like, you have to have an account. You can't just be someone working in Cubase or Ableton Live. You have to have a PreSonus account.
Well, technically speaking, you could put any files up there. But of course, there's direct integration with
Gotcha.
Studio One. You can export directly up to the cloud from Studio One 5.
Okay. Yeah, I'm looking forward to exploring how it all works. So, in terms of like is there like, okay, when you say direct integration, could I have Studio One open and see the cloud, like in Exchange or something like that? Is that how it works?
It's not necessarily like in real time, if that's what you mean, but like, so let's say you were going to do a mix down of something. So you can go and export. Let's say you just wanted to send some stems and put them up in your space in the cloud.
Mm-hmm.
So you would export your stems. It's going to ask you which workspace you want to pop it into. You'll say, hey, I want it here in this particular one, and then it'll update it to the cloud. So then when you go over into the browser, you'll see, bam, your stems are there, and then you can kind of work back and forth from there. So it's not like a real-time collab thing. It's just importing and exporting stems, essentially.
Okay, so it's essentially like a Dropbox deal.
Kind of, yeah,
Okay.
kind of, except you keep everything within that workspace, and you can preview things within that workspace, listen to them in the workspace. And you get, I think it's 30 gigs of space for free, and then you can always pay for more, up to 100 gigabytes of space.
Okay, so what about okay, so is there like file backup options? So, like for instance, I know with Splice, if you have a Splice account, it automatically backs up your files. Is that?
Sure, I don't think it. I'll have to double check that aspect of it. I know that there is the option to back up your settings folder, so that if anything ever happens, your settings get corrupt, or whatever, you go onto a different computer and you want to import all your settings, you can have that saved in the cloud. As far as automatically saving all your backups to the cloud, I have to double check on that. I'm not sure.
Okay, because I started thinking that because I noticed that I downloaded something the other day from the account. I think it's the PreSonus file management,
Okay.
something like that. It's like a. Let's see if I can. The hub. That's what it is. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So the hub, I from what I see that any plugins that you don't have, you can just install it just straight from the hub.
Yeah, exactly, and all that stuff is evolving. So like I said, we're kind of figuring out things things along the way, and what works best for our users. So you'll kind of see things morph and change throughout time as we can go through and flip them up.
Okay. Cool. That's what's up. There's a lot of people who thought it was a good idea. Let's see. Any PreSonus plans on updating the sample stock material, the loops and sample stock sounds, and or new VSTs? Thanks for a nice dialogue. KS, or I have no idea what that means, but go ahead.
Updating the stock stuff. Well, of course, if you're part of PreSonus Sphere, then you get access to tons and tons of content all over the place, all different types of content. The stock stuff that comes with the perpetual licenses, I don't know. I'd have to ask and see if there's any plans on actually updating that. I mean, we're always looking at stuff, so hard to say yes or no on that one.
Right. So basically, guys, in case you guys didn't know, there is a PreSonus shop. You can download stuff that doesn't come with your, like you were saying, your Studio One, your perpetual license. There's a store on there, and I've seen and heard some pretty cool stuff on there.
Yeah, and it's growing and growing. I think it's started up pretty. What's in that cup? It's cold brew, man. I gotta stay up late. Sorry, that's one of the questions. It's well, we're like threw me off with the coffee question. So, I'm sorry, what were you saying?
That's totally fine. I just want to take a moment right quick to tell everybody to like the video. I appreciate you saying that, Super Mob. If you're watching this video, like the video. I appreciate the likes on here. If you're not subscribed already, please subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to keep it up here. I'm doing stuff like this all the time. I'm going live, showing you guys tips, tricks, music production, everything music production here. We got Oscar, or OG, from PreSonus, answering all of your questions about what's going on with the new update. We got Studio 1.5 here, introduction to Sphere, which was what we, kind of in and out talking about. There's a lot of additions and things that happen under the hood that you guys don't know. Some of you guys don't know if it's worth the upgrade or not. And we kind of addressing all of those questions. So appreciate the thumbs up. Back to the questions.
Yeah, no, I remember now. We were talking about content like on the shop as well
Okay.
too. So yeah, the shop has grown and grown, and it's become a great place to look for more content. I mean, we know that there's a lot of competitive things out there as far as where to get content from, but we're trying to make that process as seamless as possible, built into Studio One, so that you can go and grab stuff and just begin working immediately with it.
All right. I'm scrolling the questions, seeing if I missed any of them. So I'm really into the show page, and I think the subscription option is a great way to get friends to try out Studio One. Cool. Now, when I thought about Sphere, I was thinking, where does man, quote me if I'm wrong. I'm trying to remember what it is. Is it Nimbit or?
Yeah, Nimbit was that's.
It is Sphere taking on. Is that like a replacement to that, or?
Honestly, like I came in like after that whole thing was launched, so I'm not like fully versed in Nimbit and what it does overall. So I can't answer that directly. So I don't know. Just
Okay.
because I don't know.
Okay, I mean that's totally fine because it to me it seems like for those of you that don't know, Nimbit is like, well, it was supposed to be like kind of like a SoundCloud for musicians, for PreSonus users, where from what I saw, there are people that have like a little page up and they have their music that they release and put on the Nimbit account, but I don't hear much talk about it. It seems like it's something that's phasing out or no longer supporting it. It kind of has this MySpace, the old MySpace vibe to it, where it's just old and no one's really talking about it. Because if you're doing anything music wise or band wise, you're doing stuff on Bandcamp or SoundCloud or uploading directly to Facebook or YouTube for that matter, or Instagram is a hot one for a lot of people who's doing things. But
I don't know. From a product development wise, I mean that's not in my space, so I don't know what the future plans are for that.
Gotcha.
But as always, I can always ask, and if I get some information that I can share, I'll definitely share it with you first, man.
Cool. Yeah, I knew you probably didn't know the full scope, but I just maybe somebody from the office mentioned it. I just thought I'd throw that out there. That's cool. So to me, it seemed like Sphere is like a way of collab. Okay, is Sphere? Would you say Sphere would be like a way of like gaining new friends and new followers, or like more exposure?
It depends. I mean, there's the whole exchange side of it as well too, and sharing. You can be sharing macros and all sorts of different things to it. So I would assume that as things grow, it becomes. We want it to be a community, overall. And so of course it's not a community if you stay isolated in your little bubbles.
Right.
I know we all in quarantine right now, but online, we should have the ability to go and share with others and create music together. And I think that's always the goal of PreSonus just in general. If we would get into the philosophical side of things, is that we're all musicians and we're all making things that we want personally to help us be able to create. And that's what the end goal is overall. So I wouldn't be surprised to see things start to open up and move in those directions. We're trying to break barriers down, not necessarily keep people apart from each other.
Gotcha. All right. There's a question here from DJ Fantos from YouTube. He says, "Have there been any performance changes under the hood, especially for performance mode for low latency, etc.?"
Yeah, I know there has been some stuff. I mean, that show page stuff has to be rock solid, right? I mean, if you're going to be out performing live with it, yeah, there can't be any missteps there. So I know for sure that they've done some tweaks there. Exactly what those tweaks are, I don't know right off the top of my head. But I haven't actually put it through its paces. But some of my other friends within the company have, and they said it's been pretty rock solid. So I don't know what those changes under the hood are, but certainly there's been some changes for stability.
Okay. All right. So from E Hall, I kind of think I know the answer to this, but I'll ask it anyway. Will we have the option to move MIDI notes up and down the piano roll after exploding pitches to tracks? Impact definitely needs to be updated to MIDI sampling capabilities like Drum Machine Designer. I would say yes, but
well, so you're talking about the ability to move MIDI notes once after it's been exploded? Is that what the question is?
Yeah, after it's been exploded pitches,
you can just select them. It's a normal event. So
yeah, that's what I was thinking as well. But I was just trying to see if I can understand the question thoroughly. I mean, because after you explode to pitches, it's still MIDI, and you can go in and like Oscar said, you can move it around like you need to.
Right. Maybe we just don't understand the fullness of the question. Maybe. I just regarding Impact itself, there was the move from Impact to Impact XT in version 4, so that of course up some of its capabilities. Personally, since Atom is what I work with, Atom and now Atom SQ, I think we're definitely taking a look at the instruments and seeing how we can better integrate it, and also better integrate it with hardware as well too.
Okay. Someone asked about the MIDI capture. We kind of addressed that earlier. At the moment, MIDI capture is not in Studio One; it's just audio capture. But it's possible in the future, maybe in the next update. I don't know. Maybe. See, the thing is, anything that y'all don't see, y'all have to make a big fuss about it, like I did with the integration between Native Instrument Controller and Studio One. See, when y'all put up a big fuss, then they'll listen, and then you'll get it one day. And that's what a lot of the features. There's a lot of stuff that I know that happened under the hood that are geared towards people who requested those features. So, I mean, if that's a feature that you guys want to see, you definitely have to ask for it. Sure, Marcus Huskins, what's up?
Marcus, what's up, my man? Haven't seen him in a minute.
Yeah,
not in person.
I try to keep up with him. He's a busy man.
Yeah. Right. And actually, getting back to that question as far as like Impact goes.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the only way to directly change pitches of a sample in there is by using the pitch knob. So you click on the sample to make sure it's selected, and then you use the pitch knob to pitch it up or pitch it down, basically. And then you can turn on the follow tempo button for each pad, and then that means it'll stay the same tempo, but then you can change the pitch up or down. So it's not like a record mode. So I know there's different ways of doing it, whether you're coming from like Machina or MPC or some other applications. And I think all of that can probably be fine-tuned and taken a look at in the long term.
Okay, cool. There's another one that came in, the aux channel. So,
oh, right.
So this guy says, excited about the new aux. And questions aren't like moving. Let me get that back. Excited about the new aux channel, but does it allow you to route audio to sampling VST input? The aux channel is new. Am I right? I thought
it is new. So it's a dedicated channel now to bring in specifically external instruments.
So I do know about that in the show page, but like what? I'm just trying to think. Like in my mind, an aux channel could be a bus channel.
It could. It's we kind of streamlined it and made it its own kind of dedicated thing, because I think we used to use like Pipeline or whatever to bring stuff in, if I'm not mistaken. I don't use a lot of external gear, so it's definitely not my realm of expertise.
Okay.
But I do know that for the people that I've talked to um, within the company that use a lot of external gear, it's like a blessing having this aux channel now.
So it's like, so the aux channel introduced capabilities that the other tracks can't. Like the aux channel has things that you can open up.
It's just more defined for external instruments,
Okay.
whereas the other ones would kind of get the job done. The aux channel just gives you more, this is purpose built for this specific thing.
Okay. Okay. Because I really didn't play with it. I seen it in there, I added it in there, and I looked at it. I was like, oh, this the aux channel just look like a normal channel. But I'm definitely looking forward to exploring, like, if this is something, because I do know that there's a difference between effects channel and the bus channel. Like, to me, they're kind of the same, but it's like the effects doesn't have the full on. It's more like the stripped down version of a bus, if you will.
Yeah, I mean, it's all about the routing and
Yeah.
the routing possibilities and what's available there. So,
Okay.
and I think actually finally I am seeing. I'm looking in the YouTube chat right now. So this whole pitch thing. So yeah, I think what they're saying is that, let's say you had a C in the piano roll,
Mhm.
and it's triggering impact.
Mhm.
So they want it, if they were, and let's say the impact was a 808, for example.
Right.
If I were to move the pitch to C sharp, they expect the impact patch to go up a half step to correlate with that sound.
Mhm.
That's not the way that impact works. So right now, it's all it is a trigger, right? So that C note is triggering that pad and whatever's on that pad or whatever that sample is. So I know what you guys want. You might want to try to go into, I think a lot of people, sample one is super underrated,
Right. That was going to be my suggestion. You guys, if you guys want to play around with the pitches, you definitely have to just put that 808 inside of sample one in order to do that. But
yeah,
I think, if I'm not mistaken, I do know in Ableton Live, if you have that in your drum pack, there is a convert button, and it actually converts it to a instrument, a melodic instrument, where you can actually program the different notes or whatever. And then I'm thinking that's kind of where he's coming from.
Yeah,
but I mean, it's
for
the
sure.
same thing.
And I think that process can definitely, I think it can be better, overall. So definitely something we can work on and get better over time. And in a perfect world, I think for me, I saw some questions like what features would I like in Studio One, which I think is a great question. I would like to see like the marriage of sample one and impact together, because there's amazing things in sample one. There's some amazing things in impact. If those two things were ever to become combined, then that becomes that beast of a plugin that I think a lot of people are asking for. So.
I think so too. I'm gonna say this. I'm not trying to, definitely not trying to be biased, and I'm not trying to pick sides, whatever. But I was able to see a lot of things when I started playing around with Ableton Live, and like how I can be creative. And me and Oscar had this conversation many times, so I feel comfortable right now.
Sure,
but
yeah.
I still do feel like there's a lack of being creative in Studio One, and I know that there's other people who feel the same way, so I kind of like go back and forth. But based on what you just said, I think that will be like the first step, marrying Impact and Sample One to do like bigger things as far as sampling capabilities. I think that's step one.
Yeah, and I think people automatically assume too that because I work for PreSonus, all I know and all I do is Studio One. I mean, I started out actually in Ableton Live. I started with Ableton 2. Shows you how I am way back in the day.
Wow.
Back when I started in this industry, with M Audio, M Audio was the distributor for both Ableton and Reason. So those were my heavy hitting DAWs that I got into first, way back in the day, before Reason could even do audio. Reason was used heavily in the hip hop scene. way back then, and live was just kind of getting around. So, and then throughout the years, of course, I was part with Avid, so I had to use Pro Tools for a long time as well. And then I worked for Nectar, and we did Bitwig. So yeah, I have a pretty varied background in DAWs, and I'm definitely not like, like super biased. Like Studio One is the only thing in the entire world, and it's perfect. I don't think anybody from the company comes from that standpoint. I think we want to make the best product that we can, and we're constantly trying to outdo ourselves and add new things as we go along.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. So I mean, I'm excited to see where Studio 15 will go, like the direction. I have a strong feeling that we have their attention right now. Maybe not. I don't know, but I like where it's going. Like when the Atom hit the market, and now we have the Atom XQ, and
Yes.
so it seems like they're, yeah, represent. It seems like we're heading in the right direction as far as production goes. It's still I still feel like there's some things that's not there yet, but I mean, that's just. But at the same time, I'm more like, the more things we get, the more things we're gonna ask for. So it's like I'm gonna
Well,
just.
it's never ending. It's definitely never ending. And sometimes you got to draw the line in the sand because I mean you have to release at a certain point. And in order to get it out the door, you just have to say, hey, we just need to stop right here, and then we'll continue working in the next iteration that comes out. So I think at the end of the day, once again, it just comes down to the culture of the company and the people. And I know people don't get to see people in the company on a regular basis, but man, the PreSonus people, there's some special people. I feel really honored to be a part of the team. Anybody that's ever come into the office and met people like Rick Nagvi and everybody at PreSonus. I mean, it's an experience, right? It's all about the people that make the company. So, it's I think sometimes that gets overlooked, and it's not like we're this gigantic corporation that doesn't see what everybody's saying. I mean, we are trying our hardest to knock out things that need to be done, but also at the same time create new things as well too.
Awesome, awesome. I have a good question from Facebook.
Mhm.
Alexander, thanks for watching, man. You said, is there any multi-thread processor performance in version 5 over version 4?
Don't think there's been any changes to that, but I'd have to double check. I don't know for sure.
Okay, it's kind of like the same question, just worded differently early. As far as like
Yeah, just
performance
more
wise.
specific to multi-thread stuff, but in the same category, same boat.
Okay, all right. Let's see another question. I'm reading Marcus.
I just
Yeah,
saw that too.
it's a movie kid. It says, question from collaboration. Will Sphere move to real time collaboration, as that's really where we need to get to?
Yeah, I think it just depends on the underlying technology being there, right? I think there are a lot of platforms that are, working toward this real-time collaboration. Some people kind of pull it off. Some people crash and burn. It's tough, and it's hard to manage from a logistics standpoint because everybody has different internet connections. Blah blah blah. I'm sure the lines that you've heard a bajillion times over. I think, you know, this is just my own opinion. This isn't like PreSonus' stance. I think we'll eventually get there overall, but there's still a lot of fundamental logistics things that aren't quite in place overall in the world, not just with PreSonus. So hopefully soon, because that would be super important. And I think especially with all the things happening in the world right now, and everybody is more isolated. I think that's put kind of the burner under companies to go through and say, hey, this is happening now. Everybody's kind of forced musicians that would never even touch, live streams or collaboration in the cloud. Now we're like, hey, I need to start looking at this now, and I think a lot of companies were kind of sort of poking their nose into it. But I think, once again, the current situation in the world, I think that's really escalated that. So once again, from my own personal opinion, I hope so. That would be awesome to see someday, real-time collaboration. As far as do we have plans for it specifically, there's nothing I can announce at this point in time.
Okay, that's awesome. So I know, I'm gonna be honest. I purchased Cubase for that. That's probably like one of the major reasons why I purchased it, because I know that they have this way of being able to collab with other artists, and like, I'm not sure if you know about this, but like, if you have Cubase, there's like a simple plugin or a simple software that the next person from another state or another country, whatever, all they have to do is just download this one simple plugin, not Cubase, but it's just a plugin that talks to Cubase, and all they need to do is have a mic to plug into the computer, and I can actually run the session live while they sing or rap on the other end through their system, and I can get the audio file in live, and I thought that was so remarkable.
Yeah,
But
for sure.
I don't know if that's even still a thing. I don't hear many people talk about it, but I thought it
I
was a
mean,
really cool. It was
people have been
cool.
doing remote sessions for a long time,
Yeah.
and Pro Tools and other applications using different technology, of course. I think like that unicorn is both people having Studio One open at the same time, like Google, right? Like Google
Hmm.
Sheets or Google Docs, and people collaborating at the same time. I think that technology is still a little ways out. But hopefully someday we'll get to see it.
Yeah, especially right now, I think that will be a very great addition. That way, I can just, like, you don't have to have Studio One. All you need is just this one little app, this little piece that just says record, and then I can get people to record and do all types of stuff, and they don't have to download a complicated program and try to learn how to use it and all like that. Is real simple.
Sure.
So I mean, actually, me and another producer tried to do something live where we was like collaborating live, and it was kind of interesting how we did it, because while he was playing what coming up with whatever he was doing live on air, and I'm listening to him live on air as well, but I'm just trying to do what I'm doing. So I had to like bring him down a little bit, just so, because we had the same track. We had a sample. We was working with the same sample, and his job was to come up with something. I come up with something. We could kind of collab them together, whatever. So it was interesting how, but I made it work. I just turned them down just a little bit, and I played the sample in my background, try to do something with the same track, and we made it work. But I could only imagine how much of a disaster it would be for someone else to do that, because we're doing more and more stuff live these days
Yeah,
because of what's going
absolutely.
on right now. And so it's like we need something innovative for us people that's going live and working with other people. So I mean, I
It's
don't know.
complicated as hell right now. It's complicated and frustrating as hell right now.
Yeah,
For
yes,
sure.
it is.
I guarantee. I mean, I know. We're definitely looking at all those things at Personas, and we feel that frustration as well. Because, like I said, we're musicians. We're collaborating internally. So we're always trying to find solutions to problems, and that's a big one. It's hard to do, but we're definitely looking at it.
Absolutely, absolutely. All right, let me. I think the big stuff got answered. We knocked that stuff out of the park. But of course, there's like questions still brewing in. Appreciate the super chat, Kino. Oh, there's a question here. When will there be another update that focus on beat makers?
Sure. Depends on what when, what you want out of that. I mean, there'll always be future updates, right? And it's a matter of prioritizing what needs to get prioritized in the future. Um, yeah, I mean, we're always cooking up stuff. I mean, you sometimes some things you think apply to certain people, sometimes they apply to other people. It sounds like I'm just skirting around the the answer there. But trust me, I I'm in that same category as well too. So I'd love to see more things as well too, and continue to grow along and long. But once again, it's all about that balance, and making that complete solution. Because I think if you look across the board, I mean, if you take a step back, and I know sometimes it's hard to do, you look at everything that Studio One does, not only for beat makers, but the beat makers that are mixing, the people that are comping tracks. I mean, the entire picture. Studio One is, I mean, it's up there. So I think sometimes we got to just take a step back and look at the whole picture versus the individual bits and pieces of a particular piece of software.
I agree, which is the reason why we're heading in this direction.
Sure. What's with all the tape, man? What do you got all the tape on there?
I put tape. I put tape on it to help me remember what is what right now until I learn it.
Yeah. I know.
Because I think what inspired me to do that was I was working on a real project, and I just was like, you know what, there gotta be a way to zoom and nudge back and forth, and I went and hit shift and nudged the wrong or made it like, oh, I messed up something. I'm like, now I gotta label this right quick until I really learn it, because I was really trying to learn it, things like that. But yeah, so we're heading in this direction. So this is one of the things that you guys can pre-order. It's the Atom SQ, and so this is how you know that we are working towards the beat maker, music production, that type thing. Because I really think like Studio One is on lock. And when it comes to like mix engineering and something push button mentioned earlier, like a lot of people sleep on the mastering page. Absolutely, the mastering page is dope. I use that all the time because I have like projects coming in, because I mix as well, and I use the mastering page. So yeah, guys, y'all just have to be patient. Like, what more do you want?
That's the thing too. Like, I think actually you brought up a good point with Atom and Atom SQ. What I usually preach is that Studio One has to be everything to everybody all at once. Right? That's just the nature of software. You never know who's going to be using it, how they're going to be using it. So you try to anticipate as much as possible. But because Studio One has so many different facets to it, sometimes it's hard to just kind of narrow in and see what what's in it for you, basically. And so from a hardware maker's perspective, like myself, somebody's at the door. 1 second.
Oh, you fine. You fine. Thumbs up, guys. Thumbs up. Thumbs up on the video. Subscribe if you're not also subscribed already.
Okay, cool. Sorry, I'm back. My brother with his Uber Eats. So yeah, like I said, software has to be everything to everybody, right? But from a hardware maker's perspective, like myself, it's my job to kind of bring focus, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it comes down to this. You might look at Studio One and say, okay, what is Studio One for me? I make beats. Can I do that in Studio One? Somebody that's coming fresh into it, they may not see that right away. Maybe they see the console, the mixer, and people doing all the heavy automation and mixing. They may not necessarily know that you can go through and make beats in Studio One. But once you see Atom, or once you see Atom SQ, something that's familiar to you, you're like, oh wait, yeah, okay, absolutely, I can do that. And it's kind of focused on that particular thing. Same thing for Faderport. People might think, well, can I really mix in Studio One? And then you see Faderport, and you're like, oh, hell yeah, this is a serious thing. So I think once again with Atom and Atom SQ, it really helps you to focus and see what's possible within Studio One from the production and beat making standpoint.
Awesome. Well, I mean, at the end of the day, it's all about workflow and what you guys want to do, I guess. I feel like you could do everything in Studio One as you could in Ableton, Reason, Pro Tools. It's just a matter of how you go about getting around to it. I mean, obviously, depending on who you are, Ableton Live might appeal to you better because of what you can do and what's available. But I mean, it's just, yeah. I know that firsthand because I have it. So,
I mean, the first time I looked at Live, like I said, this was way back in the day. I was like, I don't even understand this. My brain couldn't comprehend it.
Right. Exactly.
And then after a while, I was like, oh, okay, I get it. So, and then just, people asking some questions about the SQ and what it is. So, I mean, the way that I describe Atom SQ, well, let's say Atom versus Atom SQ. So Atom, I think of it kind of as it's a drum instrument first and foremost with Studio One, right? But you do have some step sequencing in it. You do have some control over Studio One in it. You do have some ability to play, synth and piano parts on it as well too. Whereas Atom SQ, basically, it's three instruments in one, right? So it's full-fledged, drum instrument. It's full-fledged keyboard controller as well too, believe it or not. The pads are nice and sensitive, so you can play it like a keyboard. And it's also a step sequencer because it's integrated with Studio One's pattern editor. So it's three full-fledged instruments all built into one. And then you put a lot more control over Studio One with Atom SQ all put into it. And it's really, I mean, it sounds like marketing junk, but like it's probably the most complete production controller that you can get that just fits in your backpack. For all the stuff that you can do in Studio One with it, having those three different types of instruments always at your disposal, there really isn't anything like it, at least right now.
Okay.
And I know I'm the product manager, and it's my baby, and of course, yeah, I'm gonna hype it up for sure.
I mean,
but I mean, I use what I use when I'm doing my production, and I can't see myself not using the Atom SQ at this point in time. Like, it's become that big part of what I do, not just because it's my product, but because it's the most well-rounded piece that I have right now.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I had the SQ for quite some time, guys. I just couldn't talk about it. So from my perspective, I think it's a really cool device. There was a question that just hit the comments. Say, who is it for? I think the SQ, now from my perspective, my background and what I do, I think the SQ is great for those who wants like the small form factor, traveling. I do that as well. Like, I know this is what I was doing when I was going to my 9 to 5. I always have my laptop in my my backpack. I have some type of controller in there, and I definitely think that it fits those type of people who's on the go, who want to take their stuff with them.
Right. And I mean, in desk space too, right? I mean, having gigantic controllers and stuff, it's tough balancing all these things as far as desk space goes. So, I'm always for the smaller form factors and the most you can get out of those smaller form factors.
Right. Well, I think it's cool. It's not end all be all, guys. But it just like I say on this channel, it's just tools. You know what I mean? It's not replacing. It's not replacing my keyboard, my Native Instruments keyboard. It's just an extra tool that I actually enjoy using because it has very tight integration with Studio One, which is what this is. The Atom is very tight integration, and like some of you guys know, I wasn't really fond of it at first, but the integration is tight. So it's like when I started playing with it, I was like, oh wow, okay. So I can actually move around Studio One a whole lot quicker with this thing, and it grew on me a lot. And the same with this one just had pads, and if you want to program chords, you have this thing. You can program chords, and it has the something that this one don't have, which is the touch strip. There's a touch strip on here, and you can like get into your if you program your hi-hats, for a lot of you guys I know, you can get to your 16s, 132s, and that type of thing real quick on the controller, note repeat, and you can navigate around Studio One. Like, you can move your cursor around and zoom in and zoom out. You can there's like a little window on here, a LED screen here, where you can go in and access the instruments and the folders really quickly with this thing, and it's really cool,
Yeah, and on that touch strip, I know I think Grammy was talking about touch strip. I saw it. So the touch strip in Studio One, like you said, can be multiple things. It could be pitch bend. It could be mod wheel. It can also be set to expression. It can send breath, MIDI CC. It can also, like you said, be used in note repeat. So depending where your finger is at on the touch strip can change the note repeat rate as well. And it also will control your channel volume as well too. So whatever track you currently have selected, you just move your hand up and down the strip to change quickly channel volume on it as well too.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm looking here. And just to be clear, Atom SQ, it's the direct integration, or we call it native integration. It's compatible with Studio 5 on and up. It'll still work in earlier versions of Studio One, but just as a standard controller. And as a standard controller, you still have access to scales, you still have access to the arpeggiator, and we do have a built-in MCU and Huey modes. So whether you're a Pro Tools user, or a FL, or Reason, you'll have some transport controls as well as the ability to, record arm, solo mute, etc. outside of those. So Studio 5 is where Studio 1.5 is where all the integration for SQ is built into, but it can be used as a standard MIDI controller, a really good standard MIDI controller in a lot of other applications as well.
All right, there's a question. Can you scroll through samples on Sample 1 ST without pressing left or right a million times?
Sample 1 XT without pressing left or right.
Yeah.
Read the question again.
I'm guessing that's for the SQs. The question was, can you scroll through samples on Sample 1 XT without pressing left or right a million times?
I see. So probably using the knob or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't remember. The knob usually functions as up or down. It just depends on what's currently in focus. So it's possible that if you select one of the samples, like let's say you have 10 samples in the list, that it does that, but I'll have to double check and see.
Yeah, from what I see, you can scroll up and down in the file section. I don't know about
in the browser. Yes, it just depends on what's in focus. And I mean, once again, it's my product, but what happens here is that like there are a lot of just kind of inherently things that are built into Studio One that apply across lots of different segments of Studio One.
Right,
And one of those
true.
is like up, down arrows or whatever. So just because I didn't say, hey, this needs to do this, it's still possible that it could happen. Just that's the nature of the way Studio One is built.
Right.
So there's some nooks and crannies that you can explore in there that you never would have thought were possible, and lo and behold, they are.
Spaces, what's up, man? Appreciate you joining me, man. This is one of my good friends, Spaces. He's also a Studio One user. According to him, I introduced him to Studio One. He was one of my viewers, and he's just like everyone else, was watching a bunch of my videos. Like, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and get Studio One. And so, according to him, I put him on Studio One, and then he started his video journey. And so,
nice.
Yeah, I try to, I do my thing, inspiring people. I do what I can.
Yeah. No, I know you're super talented. I think you'd get around with whatever you got put in front of you. So I appreciate that you do everything that you do for PreSonus. So yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, my whole goal here on this channel is to help music producers, beginners, advanced, intermediate. It depends. I feel like everyone, according to what I've seen so far, I see that everyone has taken something from me, and I'm of course always learning. I will never set up myself as the God, that knows everything, and a lot of times on my stream I'm discovering and bumping into new things as well. But I mean, the whole goal is to help this community, and whatever I have, and that's why I brought you on to help answer any questions that you guys may have, stuff I can't answer, and I think it's just a good thing that my subscribers saw PreSonus face, letting them know that PreSonus is here. They are here for the community.
Yeah.
It is, we right here, and
Yeah, and honestly, it's like, I enjoy these types of conversations, right? Even like the tough questions and all the deeper conversations. I love that stuff. And sometimes it's hard because as a product manager, I'm working day and night to get things done. All of our product managers, and really everybody at PreSonus, We put in all that blood, sweat, and tears, and I think sometimes we forget to kind of be the face of a company, and get out and meet with people. It's just we have our heads down sometimes. Certain people are always out there, like Rick, like we talk about before, and some other folks, and they do a great job. Ray, I'm sure you've seen Ray from Mixers, that
Yeah.
beard, call
Yeah.
him, right? So I think it's important to do these type of things and just keep the conversation going with the community and let people know that we're real people, and we understand that the people that are using our products are real people as well too, and they have important things to say.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And yeah, and I would say that you guys are doing an awesome job. The size of the company, right? I would think so. There's not a huge company yet, right? I
Right,
think
right.
we're heading in that direction where they're gonna have to bring me on pretty soon. Hint, hint. Because I don't know.
Hey man, I've always. I mean, I know we just recently, starting to, talking with each other, and you've been an invaluable resource, not just for me, but I know for everybody in the community as well too. So, obviously we'll always keep that connection there.
Awesome, awesome. We need key detection in sample one.
Key detection. I see what you're saying.
Hmm.
So maybe something like we have that. Losing my mind now. My coffee's wearing off. We have like chord extension and stuff like that as far as the keys goes. Maybe incorporating that into the plugin itself. I don't know. Sounds like a cool idea. Something
Yeah,
to look at.
yeah.
When the SQ will be released, and end of the month, you probably see most people will probably see it at the beginning of August. It's up for pre-order now. Check your favorite website or retail or whatever. It should be up there for pre-order.
Cool, cool. Let me make sure my Facebook friends are good.
Grime is going to make me a PDF of improvements. I know, man. He's got some
Wow.
good ideas. He's got some really good ideas, though.
Yeah, that's that. Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah. I'm just trying to. Let me see. I understand PreSonus has hardware like Atom, but the plans for fitting the MPC with S1 better. She got just. Okay. House of Latin. So he says, and I think his question is that this question is kind of set up more so comparing Ableton and the MPC. So I'll read the question anyway. I understand PreSonus has hardware like Atom, but any plans on fitting the MPC with S1 better? I got jealous when MPC now works so well with Ableton. S1 and MPC are my two main. So basically, what he's saying is he likes using Studio One, and he likes the MPC. Is there any
Sure.
plans because he feel like MPC and Ableton works? I guess they have nice integration going on right now. I'm guessing that's what he's saying.
Well, you have things like Force, I guess, and some of those other applications where you're able to control live from Akai products. I mean, all those things come down to relationships. Like there's interrelationships things within the industry itself. I think even just recently, we've been collabing more with Ableton, and that's where you see the integration with Atom and Live and SQ with Live and us offering Live Light. If you guys didn't know, Live Light comes with a lot of our products now in the box.
Mm-hmm.
So just like flipping back to that question again, it just comes down to, sometimes you're competing businesses, sometimes you want to try to work together. Those things are complicated. It's like the whole NI thing and getting stuff to work within Studio One. It's not just like a flip a switch and all of a sudden it's there. There are a lot of more complicated dimensional things, not interdimensional, just dimensional things that has to go into place. So can never rule out anything in the future. Would we like to be compatible with everything that's out there? Absolutely. But that just takes some time and a lot of strategic stuff.
Okay. I don't know how much time you have, but there's another one that popped in on my fan page. Thanks for joining, Antony. Antone. I hope I said. If I butcher anybody's name, please forgive me. But the question is, I think we could say that S1 is a very music focused DAW. Is there any plan in the future to be more close to post production, sound for games, installation, etc., multi-channel LFO, randomness or whatever? And just before you answer that, that actually is a good question because to start the answer off, there is integration with Notion now, so the score is in there. So that's just, as you can see, things are going in the right direction. What I like to see is video, like them, work a little bit better on video, especially when it comes to like scrubbing, because when I move my cursor, the video doesn't necessarily scrub. So when I put like that boom or that, I don't know, that effect right there
Yeah,
at that frame, it doesn't really. Yeah. So take it away.
Yeah, I know where you're coming from. I had to do all that back in the day as well too. Yeah, I think once again, I know some people just joined just recently, but it's all about that balance and moving stuff, up or down. So sometimes we kind of do a heavy move into a certain aspect of it, whether that's the production side or whether that's the mixing side, etc. It's kind of like we talked about earlier. It's kind of a never-ending thing of features that can keep on creeping and going. So directly answering the question as far as continuing to build up that portion of Studio One for that particular industry, I don't, nothing to announce at this time. But like I said before, I mean, everything's always on the table. We're always looking at making Studio One the most complete music production platform that there is. That doesn't come overnight,
Mm-hmm.
So we just keep on chipping away at it and keep on trying.
Awesome. So guys, we've been on here for, let's see, about 2 hours long, and I'm going to go ahead and say that based on the questions that were asked and the answers that was giving, I feel like PreSonus is headed in the right direction, and they have a great idea as to what you guys are asking for. So it's a good thing that Mr. Oscar is here and he kind of hear those questions and you can take some of that stuff back. And but it just seems like there may be some stuff already brewing, who knows, but it just feels like we headed in the right direction, because coming from OG himself, he said that they want Studio One to be the one solution, that everything that everybody wants and needs. So I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah,
really glad to hear that.
Glad. Yeah, man, it's it's a huge task. It's a huge undertaking, But I think the people that we have are super talented and are definitely up to it. I was going to mention too, if any of you, whoever's on Facebook, there's actually a Facebook group called the PreSonus Atom Users Group on there as well too. I'm on there all the time. People didn't realize that I was product manager, Grimy being one of those persons. And so everybody's like, "Hey, what is SQ? What is it?" I'm like, "Just ask me questions. I'm here." So if you get a chance, find that group. You can pop on in there if you have Atom specific questions or Atom SQ. I actually went live on there the other day as well too, showing off Atom SQ, like a little sneak peek. So if you are on Facebook, please definitely find that group, seek it out, and get on there, and you can ask those specific questions on there as well too.
Cool, Adam. Sorry, Oscar. I want to call you Adam. I don't know.
Good.
I appreciate
you.
Yeah.
OG.
Cool. Many names. I appreciate your presence, sir. I appreciate you joining, answering all of the questions, and some of them you answered twice. I definitely appreciate it.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. All right. Well, I'm gonna stay on for a few seconds and kind of end the show, and I'll just call you later or whenever. We can chop it up.
Let's knock out some Atom SQ videos together. Let's do it.
Yeah, man. I'm game. Yeah, let's do that.
All right. I appreciate the time, and thank you everybody online for all the questions. Much appreciated.
All right,
Much.
cool.
Yeah. Okay.
All
Bye.
right, man. All right, guys. So, what are you guys thinking? Thumbs up on the video. Thumbs up on the video. Give me some more thumbs. I need y'all to pound. It's a lot of y'all that join me, and not enough likes to match up the viewership here. Appreciate all of the thumbs up. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please do so, because I got more videos brewing up for the channel, as you guys can see. This is probably not the last time that my boy Oscar will be joining me. We'll be doing some things in the future, the near future. All right. Anyone on Facebook, if you got appreciate you guys for joining. I can take that question right quick from Sip Easy. Is Atom the equivalent of machine or MPC? No, it's not. It's not the equivalent of those devices. It's just it's what the Ableton Live controller is to Ableton. I'll just put it like that. So the Atom pad is it controls, and actually, to be honest with you, after playing around with the push and in Ableton, the push have some nice. It's integrated really nice, but it's not really that tight, in my opinion. Like you can't really control Ableton Live. Like if you wanted to like switch stuff around and like scroll the pages or like flip back and forth between the session and the range view. It doesn't do that type of stuff, but the Atom pad does. The Atom can actually switch stuff around, and now that we have this Atom SQ, now that I'm allowed to talk about it, I had this thing for some weeks now, and it's really cool. I taped it up and stuff just to help me remember where everything is, so that, you know, when I do official videos, I can go on here like a pro, like, blah, 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 blah. I just, that's how I do what I do, you know what I mean? So I won't look all crazy, right? But yeah, this is something new, But I mean, it's if you are a Studio One user, it's just one of those things that's cool to have. To as tight with S1. You know what I mean? I wouldn't necessarily say that it's equivalent, you know what I mean? Because that's not the case. And just like he said earlier, he said that wasn't the goal. It was just that they wanted to create something for Studio One, right? That's the whole concept. So I think if I understood that when I first was introduced to the idea, then I would have probably had a different approach. But I'm like, they put this out, and I have the Machine MK3, and I'm like, doing my thing or whatever. And then all of a sudden one day they came out with the Atom pad, and I was like, what is this? But regardless of the form factor, you know what I'm saying? It works well with Studio One. I cannot lie there. And for that purpose, I use it because of the tight integration. It's not necessarily because, oh my God, this thing is amazing. It's just, it works well. There's nothing wrong with it. It's a pretty solid device that works well with Studio One. If you banging out beats in Studio One, it's very solid. And the follow up after that is the Atom SQ. You know what I mean? And he made it known that this will be available. It will start shipping within a month, if I'm not mistaken, but you can go ahead and pre-order it now. It's already popping up on your favorite websites, Sweetwater. I seen it on Sweetwater. It's on B&H, I think. Another one, I can't remember the other places it was on, but it's popping up. I'm sure it'll be on Amazon pretty soon. I didn't see it on Amazon, but yeah. So with that being said, I think we had a fantastic show. I appreciate you guys coming out and hanging out with me. I try to do what I can for you guys. You know what I'm saying? Bringing on a team member from PreSonus, just letting you guys know that they are for the community. You know what I mean? So I'm grateful that I was able to get him to come on. Actually, he extended the he extended the offer. Like if you want me to come on, let me know. I can come on and help address some questions. I was like, cool. I think that's a great idea. So it just goes to show you that the folks that works over there at PreSonus, they listening to the community. I think a lot of things that was discussed today, he was able to make notes, and some of it will be taken back to the team, I'm pretty sure. And hey, we got archive video. I'm pretty sure he'll just pass this on to PreSonus. Hey, look, check out what we talked about. You know what I'm saying? We definitely hit on some pretty cool points. We talked about the MIDI issue. I know that's a number one topic. And it seemed like every person who discovers that I'm live right now, that's the first question you put in the Q&A, right? Yes, we talked about that. We made that, and he said that basically with the MIDI issue, some people are having that issue, some people are not. So with that being said, the folks that's behind coding and doing all of that, the work behind that, they have to be able to see what's going on, meaning like they have to have first hands, like actually it being on their system, or they have to see what's going on in order for them to address it. So that's not an issue that they see on their end. So it's like they don't know what to address or how to, make improvements, because on their system, they're not seeing that problem. So that one right there is a little challenging. It's like, now how do we get them to see what we are going through, the folks that are dealing with the MIDI issue that we've been talking about? A lot of you guys have moved to a different platform just because of their frustration with MIDI. And there's a lot of us that's having that problem. But like I say, it's not everyone that's experiencing that problem. So I don't know, guys. We just gotta have faith, and just I just think is, if you guys keep talking about it, go to the support page, the forums, and just voice your opinion, thumbs up on whoever who started the conversation with the MIDI issue, right? Just continue putting thumbs up on that and make comments to it, and just explain your issue. I say the best way is probably just make a short video on what you experienced, and upload it and tag PreSonus, or upload it in the forum, give them a link to it so they can see what the problem is and they can better address what the situation is. But from what I've heard, they know, they are aware. We're just waiting on it to be fixed, right? I don't know what else could be done. But I mean, I had my fair share. I have my reasons why I moved around because of that issue. But at the end of the day, guys, it's like the features and things that I'm able to do in Studio One. I love what I could do in Studio One. So it's like I'm still here. You know what I mean? Because Studio One rocks. It's solid. It's solid to me, but I still feel like it lacks creativity. But I can see that they trying to work at it. You know what I mean? And I can only foresee it being something that's coming in the near future with Studio One 5. So hopefully, But if I didn't get to your question, or I didn't say the right things to you guys, I didn't help you make a decision, I apologize. I really do. I apologize. At the end of the day, it's all about workflow and what y'all want to do. If the stuff you can do in Ableton Live works better for you, then I say stick with that. If you're a Reason person, stick with that. If you like working in Logic, I know some people like the updates that happen in Logic. Those were some really nice upgrades, but I don't want to rain on nobody parade, but sometimes I think like this is the question I want to ask certain people. So you talk about these updates that Logic got going on, and you like jumping all over the place, and then when you find out about Studio One 5, you know, bam, we come out with the update, and then you don't see the type of things that you saw with Logic Pro. So my question is to you: are you using all of those things that happened in the update for Logic? Are you really? Is it really useful? Is it really helping you to make better music? What are those updates that happen in Logic? How is it really helping you? Did it really help you? Is it really that great that it just, man, now you are a Grammy Award winning producer, making beat maker person? Like, did it really, you know what I mean? That's kind of what it all boils down to, because from my understanding, Studio One, I have made several things in Studio One that has made me lots of money. I have music that's brewing, that's in places that's making me look pretty well, and I did the work at Studio One. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, some things I would wish I could do better or whatnot. I sound like an advocate. I sound like I work for PreSonus. But at the end of the day, what I'm trying to tell y'all is like music production. At the end of the day, it's all about what you can do and how you can make it work for you, in your setup. You know what I mean? That's what it all boils down to, guys. That's all I'm saying. But anyway, I'm not gonna bore y'all any longer. We're gonna end it here. Again, I appreciate everybody. Can you demo the MIDI issue? No, I can't demo the MIDI issue. I hope I did a good job explaining. Nasty Nate, what's up? What's up? I get what you're saying, Ella. I don't even stressing about the update of Studio One 5. It doesn't really change my workflow at the end of the day. Exactly. So you get what I'm saying. You get what I'm saying, man. I'm mad that I can't like push the questions up on the screen because I'm streaming into too many platforms right now, and I don't have that set up. But yeah, I mean, yeah. At the end of the day, it's all about workflow, and it is definitely important that you have the tools that you need to help you make do what you do fast, quick. You know what I'm saying? Of course. I get it. We can't please everybody. I can't please everybody. That's just what it is. So I'm gonna do a last run through. Trying to get all of the questions. I know I wasn't able to get everybody a question. Yeah. So basically what I do here, I guess my outro, I do stuff like this. If you guys are watching me from Facebook, I don't really do live streams that often. I try to do, I'll do it if I feel like it's necessary, because I know like my Facebook is not really into this type of stuff. As I can see, I have like 4 people. I think I had the most, maybe 7 people watching at one time. When on YouTube, I'll have like hundreds of people watching. So it's like my people, my family is just on YouTube. It's just Facebook is just different types of people or whatever, family, friends and stuff like that. My family look at, oh, that's just Cuzzo. Oh, that's just my brother, yeah, that's great. Had no clue what I'm talking about. So I'm not really on Facebook like that, but I try to do stuff there as well if I can. But I do know there's a lot of you guys on, work use Studio One, also my Facebook friend. So I try to do y'all a favor, Spaces ain't no dog perfect. Use what you use. That's perfect, man. And he drops the mic. That's perfect. I mean, man, I said it earlier. I'm like, man, what more do y'all want? But I get it. It's like the more and more a company push out stuff, it's more and more that we want. They do more, and then we think of new things that we ain't got. I'm just thinking, what more? I mean, there are some things I like to see, but I really don't. I really, I did. I guess I got what I want, and I'm just like, I'm chilling. I got my integration between my keyboard and the Studio One, and I'm good. It's like I ain't really saying much no more these days. You just, man, man. I mean, it is what it is. I'm cool. I'm cool. Now, it is the whole reason why I jumped to Ableton Live. Like, Ableton Live does something totally different. It's a different workhorse. It's a different beast. And I am really not trying to bring that workforce, that work ethic to Studio One. I'm not trying to do that. That's not what I'm trying to do. Like, the cool things I had mentioned it. I like, man, it would be cool to see like Studio One take on like the devices or like introduce Clip Lodge or whatever. But then I thought about it. I was like, you know what? Then that would just be Studio One just really copying Ableton Live. Then Ableton Live wouldn't be Ableton Live anymore. It would be a bunch of copycats. You know what I'm saying? And that just wouldn't be fair. That just wouldn't be no type of way of working where everybody's trying to copy each other. I mean, there are some features that, are being pulled, some things that Pro Tools doing. Of course, Studio One adapts some of those. There's definitely some things that Ableton Live's doing. Studio One adapt those and vice versa. I'm sure it's stuff that, I feel like Logic, what they did with sequencing, they took Studio One, they took that concept and input it in. So like when you guys talk about the updates of Logic, well, do know that some of that stuff came from Studio One. We had people complaining about being able to do like step sequencing like FL Studio. So now we got it. It's called Pattern. Some people still don't know that because they was asking like, why we ain't got step sequencing yet. I'm like, yeah, we got step. It's just not called step sequence. It's called patterns, right? And when you take a look at it, it works a little bit different than step sequence. It's actually more advanced. It's like an advanced version of step sequencing. And then Logic got on board because Logic really never had a true step sequencer yet, and so now they have what they have now, and it's pretty cool. And I feel like Logic took it to another level. I ain't gonna lie, hands down, it's pretty cool in Logic. But I mean, it is what it is, man. If you're gonna work at Studio One, work at Studio One. If not, don't worry about it. You know what I'm saying? But it's cool that the new thing they're doing in Studio One, where PreSonus, where this thing called Sphere, right? We talked about that earlier. Sphere is for people who can't afford Studio One 5. So now you can get Studio One 5 for only $15 a month. So everybody can make music. Like, there's no more excuses. Oh, it's too expensive. Well, you can just pay $15 a month and you can have Studio One 5 along with the other things that we were talking about earlier, like all the cool things, the cloud, the collaboration, things like that. So it's really cool. Or you can just pay for the upgrade. Like, a lot of people own Studio One 5 and just pay for the extra subscription to get the extra stuff. That way, if you just end the subscription with Sphere, then you won't lose access to Studio One 5. That's how that works. So I hope that we clear that up. There was a lot that was said earlier, but True the Knox, what's up? What's up, man? It's not non-compatible. Wait, I lost the question. You said, is it compatible with native instruments? What you mean, the SQ or Studio One? But the complete controller is compatible now. It was that way since three. Let's see, 3.2.3, 3 point, I can't remember, 3.5.2, something like that. The integration between Native Instruments, the keyboard, and Studio One, it came a while ago. So I'm good there. Like I'm cool. Like I get down. I make it happen. I'm solid. I deal with the MIDI. You know what I mean? And like I said, when I upgraded my computer, that problem kind of eased up a little bit because my computer's a little lot faster. So I don't really have that problem like I did before, but I know it's still there because it still act up and do some things that I'm familiar with. I'm like, oh man, here you go again. You know what I mean? But I definitely have that problem. But as always, even before then, I just learned to deal with it. You know what I mean? Like Spacer said earlier, like there's no DAW that's gonna be perfect. You just gotta do what you gotta do. You just make it do what you do. You know, just chuck it up. Because at the end of the day, everything is digital. You know, digital ain't perfect. Even analog, you know, analog stuff ain't perfect either. Ain't nothing in life perfect. You know, there you go. I said it. Bam, there you go. That was a word. Did y'all catch that? Ain't nothing in life perfect. We spend a lot of time trying to be perfect, but ain't nothing in life perfect. That's what's up. That's what's up. I answered the question about Sphere. You know, I do what I do, man. Sometimes I'm here with you. I'm for the people, guys. I'm right there. I know what y'all need. I'm joking. I'm joking. I have no clue most of the times, which is why I have this channel and why I go live, just to kind of chill with you guys. All right. Well, yeah, it's been yeah. Um, I don't know if I'm going live tomorrow or I don't know, but I've been trying to like do videos, break them up. You know what I'm saying? Short videos and let y'all know what's going on here and there. So, like I said before, if you guys are not subscribed to the channel, please do so because this is a lifetime right here. I'm a music producer. That's what I do for a living. And I love doing what I do, and I love sharing my knowledge and helping you guys. That's what I do. And I have fun doing these lives. A lot of times I'm on here discovering stuff, and you guys help me out. That's how this community works. And I'm very appreciative to you guys that are following me. You're watching me live, and you stuck in with me almost 3 hours into this live stream. You know what I'm saying? I definitely appreciate that. Very appreciative, guys. You guys don't know how much you guys make me feel doing these live shows. You know what I'm saying? Or just watching my videos. And, you know, it's not much, but like when you throw likes on my videos and, you know, watch the videos, like that means a lot to me because it's like I have something to share and it's valuable to you guys. And it's like you guys take that and you learning from it. And I'm constantly getting you guys saying, hey, man, you know, I appreciate what you've been doing. I've been following you from this day. And I love the progression. And now you up here doing live stream videos with PreSonus themselves. And I'm like, you know, you all right. Yeah, I've came a long ways, man. And one of these days I'll get to tell y'all, guess what? I'll have on that official PreSonus shirt because I'll be like one of the employees working with them, helping them design and create new things and get to tell y'all firsthand on, you know, stuff like that or whatever. I get to be the next Oscar on people's stream, answering questions about what products we have going on and brewing up. You know what I'm saying? You know, baby steps. But, you know, until that day comes, you know, we here, we doing what we do. And, yeah, man. And I appreciate all of the super chats. Appreciate all of the super chats. That made my day. Yeah. You said give us a give us a demo of the Atom before you go. Well, I'm not gonna. I don't have Studio One up right now, but basically this is what it looks like. My light is probably too bright. And I've marked it to help me memorize what knob is what, because these could be assigned to anything, but when you hit shift, it's one of those dedicated knobs. Like this knob is a scroll, you like scroll in and out. This one is the horizontal scroll, so you can make it, your arranger in and out side by side. This one up here is your height. It adjusts, the height of your wave. And this one is nudging your region. So if you got one selected, you can nudge the region back and forth. You see how tight the integration is with this thing? So it's like you can control stuff inside of Studio One with this thing. And so this is like a keyboard, and this is Oscar's vision. This is his baby. So it's actually pretty cool. I mean, to some of you may feel like it's a toy, but like I think it's cool because it's small. It's like it almost can fit in my back pocket. Like it's really small. I can have it under my arm and just be walking around, like, what I'm saying? Like it's not heavy at all. It's very lightweight. There's a LED screen on there. They trying to move up. There's the Atom doesn't have a screen, but this one does. So it's like, oh, okay, yeah, one step at a time. You know what I'm saying? This is your banks right here. Your different banks. You can switch your stop, play, rewind. No, stop, play, record. Your metronome, and when you hit shift, you can see the undo. You can see the loop. You can save your project from here. Your count in or whatever. This is your pitch bend, but you can assign it. You can flip it to be. I think he said not arpeggiator, but note repeat. This touch strip becomes a pitch shift and also a note repeat. Like you can go back and forth, and I was excited about that. I think I may have suggested that. I don't know. Maybe not. I know when I first got this, I was like, well, can you do that on it? Because this would be cool if I can, switch the note repeat, right here or whatever, instead of doing it from here. So you could switch these two back and forth. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty cool. Like I say, it's not connected to the Studio One right now. Of course, this light indicates it's green. It's not. That means Studio One is not on. And once I load up Studio One, it'll turn blue, indicating that it's connected. That's how the Atom works as well. I will be doing videos on this, but I was waiting on the green light to do so. You know what I mean? But now that it's out there, I can focus on doing stuff with it. So you just gotta be subscribed to the page. Hopefully, I know you subscribe, but I'm just saying, like, if you guys want to see something, be subscribed, because when I do stuff playing with it, it's pretty cool, and it works. It works solid. It's cool. The other cool thing about this is that here, like if you in the impact, you can make this switch to drum mode. So which means like the first roll will be like pad the A, was it A, and then the second roll will be B, or like one section. I forgot how that works. But it's like different modes. Like you can see things, and also when you turn on the scale, it has scales in it. So depending on the scale, these different buttons will become deactivated. Like you won't see them. Like it's grayed out here. Like I don't know if you can see that, but it's kind of grayed out. depending on the scale. And so it's like it helps you press the correct note or whatever. And yeah, I mean, I just have yeah, I remember like just what this thing been through. Like when I was beta testing it, just what it what it was before I got here. So there's a lot of things that happen throughout time, and I have to like really like I'm excited to show y'all like what it can really do. But of course, there's always gonna be things about it I don't know. But just like the performance of it, the stability of it, I was a part of like checking that out and things like that, and it feels really good. Like it's soft, it's very responsive. Yeah, I mean it's cool. It is what it is. You know what I mean? It's not the push. It's not the machine. It's not a Rolly. It's not a trying to think of those other keyboards. It's not anything else. It's the Atom SQ. It's like it's in its own lane. It's not the Fire. What is that thing that works with um FL Studio? And then I hear that thing is not all that sweet either. It is what it is. It is what it is. Say, is there any creative mask coming? You mean like face mask? As a matter of fact, I do. I have a T-shirt line that I'm working on that I will be launching. Actually, I already launched it, but I just never said anything about it because I was still working on some things. But you know what? There is, if y'all go to my website, it's creative. What is it? Creative.com. I think I have face masks on there. If that's what you're talking about, I'll put that here. Creative, and all of my links and stuff like that is on the site as well. So if you're looking for a face mask and like t-shirts and stuff like that, you guys can visit that website, go to the shop area, and get G'd up, get your gear, get in there. All right, my Facebook friends, stop asking me questions. Said I could do damage with that. Your NPC as a VST and Ableton, you'll know that you can route your NPC VST audio to sampler for dropping in NPC when you're using S1. There is no way to route it to the NPC input. I'll say this. Your question is obviously for like integration with NPC, right? They have this new thing called Aux in Studio One 5. I'll say explore that and see what the possibility is, because this Aux channel is supposed to be able to link up with your outboard gear, so to speak. And so with that being said, there may be some really cool possibilities there. I can't say right now because I don't have an NPC, and Studio One 5 just came out. I have not explored the Aux channel. That was actually one of my questions to Oscar earlier, being that if the Aux channel, what is there like any like something that it does that any other channel doesn't do. So I say you guys just have to like explore that. I don't know. I'm not really sure, but I'm sure there's possibilities for anything. Now, when you're talking about like NPC and stuff like that, I'm pretty sure there's a way to route things the way that you're saying. Ableton Live obviously does it different. You know what I'm saying? It's like everybody do it differently. Like when I'm working on score stuff, doing stuff for movie and films, things like that, I'd rather go and work in Studio One 5 or Studio One, period. Because the way that their routing is set up with Contact, because I use Contact a lot, the way that their routing is so super quick and easy, and I just prefer that route. Like what I can do as far as like that, I just thought it was better in Studio One versus Ableton for working with like scoring and stuff like that. So like that is a no brainer for me. So I'm pretty sure that there's a way to do anything. Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. Carlos, what's up? It makes your outboard gear act like a virtual instrument from what I've seen on other videos. I say explore it. As you guys already know, things that you see on video is not all. That's not all. That's not it. You know what I mean? It's a great representation of what the idea is or what the intention is behind it, right? But it's always one of those things that's like when you get it in front of you and you really see the potential and what you can really do with it, it's like, oh, they didn't say that, they didn't mention that. Wow, I didn't realize I could do this, I could do that. They ain't say any of that, and that's a great example that happened during the live stream when they announced Studio One 5, because they didn't say anything about the SQ, right? So yeah, there you go. Just like Apple, when you're looking at Apple live events, they don't say everything. There's not enough time to mention everything that they do under the hood, but they can only mention the major points, the wow factors or whatever. A lot of you guys did not know it was a score inside of Studio One, but that's not a wow factor, right? That's not really, but it's there. It's a wow factor to some people. You know what I mean? Like to me, that's kind of a wow factor. It wasn't a big deal, but it was like, oh yes, we finally got a score. That's cool. I like that. You know what I'm saying? What's up, Black Av? What's up? What's up? What's up? Black Ab, my main. Y'all made me feel like a celebrity today. There's so many of y'all that just came in, man. That's what's up. That's what's up. Let's see how many of y'all jump on tomorrow or the next one. see how many of y'all come out when the topic is just making beat. See how many of y'all come out. Everybody want to ask PreSonus something, but y'all don't want to. I'm tripping. I'm tripping. The love is real. I appreciate it, guys. The love is real. All right, that's it for me. I'm going to end it here. Okay, just checking all of my Q&A, making sure I ain't missing nothing. I got to get back to work. I got to finish some stuff up. I got people waiting on me, but hopefully I was able to address everything. All right, guys, appreciate the thumbs up on the video. Once again, if you new, you just coming in, appreciate the thumbs up. We're trying to get to 60 likes before I leave. Let's see if we can get to 60. Let's see if we can get to 60 likes before I leave. We at 57 right now. I ain't leaving until I get 60 likes. Let's get 60 likes. That's right. That's right. Paint your picture with the crayons or something like that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You got it. You got it. Ain't nobody judging. You got it. 60. We at 60 likes. All right, guys. I appreciate it. We're gonna end it right here. Any questions you guys have, of course, you know you can like write your questions in this video once it fully posts, and yeah, stay tuned for next time, guys. All right. So where is it? Where is it? I got to get it going. Yeah. There we go. Got to get the music going, guys. You know what I'm saying? Shalom, shalom. Draw with Crayolas, Tonka toys is art. That's what's up. That's what's up. Hey, whatever's art to y'all, it's art. Art is art. Right? And that's the reason why I say music is art. You the artist, paint your picture. Stay creative with our rules. I'm gonna get on out of here, guys, and get back to work, get back to life. And I'll see y'all when I see y'all. Catch me on the next one. All right, y'all be safe.